Thank you for joining us for the East Aurora Village Board meeting for November 20th, 2023. If you could join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Attendance, please.
Trustee Lizikis.
Here.
Trustee Cameron.
Here.
Trustee Vijay.
Here.
Trustee Flynn.
Here.
Trustee Raby.
Here.
Trustee Shear.
Here.
Mayor Mercurio.
Present.
7 present, 0 absent.
Thank you. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes of the Village Board meeting for November 6th, 2023?
So moved.
Moved by Molly, second.
Second.
Second by Jeff. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Can I get a motion to approve the payment of abstract 2023-2024 fiscal year for voucher numbers 64114 to 64200 for a total of $929,745.60.
So moved.
Moved by Kristen, second.
Second.
Second by Grace. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. I get a motion to open a special use public hearing for 33 Elm Street, applicants George and Linda Lund, open retail restaurant Babka's Pierogi at 7:02 p.m.
So moved.
Moved by Steve, second.
Second.
Second by Grace. For the discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. The public hearing is open. Is the applicant here? Hi. Would you like to give us a quick high level of your project, please?
At this point in time, our opening is contingent on the construction of Blue Eyed Baker on Riley Street. So we're looking at a tentative opening, hopefully by the end of the year, or before the end of the year. Basically, once they are ready to move out, we will begin phasing in. Just it'll be a quick turnaround, just repainting and moving equipment in and preparing.
And you're looking to maybe put in a dividing wall? Is that what you said?
Moving the dividing wall. There's a dividing wall there now.
On the left?
As you first walk in, it's like a barn door.
Uh-huh.
So we just would like to move that back a little bit more so that there's more space in the front.
And in your application, you said Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., but the hours may change.
Yes, depending on what the community bears, it will definitely be a 10 to 7 during festivals and different activities in the village. We would like to be open on Sundays, but for the most part, it would be Monday through Saturday.
Okay, and Rich and Maureen, do you want to tell her the process for changing hours outside of her permit?
Sure.
I can get a permit if you want it to be regular. And then
Okay.
if it's just for an event or two, you'll have to come in and get a temporary use permit.
Okay.
Okay.
And I would just come into the town hall?
Come into the village, well, town hall,
Yeah.
on village hall, you come down to the village side and we can
Yeah.
help you with that, or depending on which one it is. And then we can send you to the code office, which is at the other side of the building if you need
Okay.
that.
And as far as sign, the sign permits, is that where I would go for sign permits?
You're gonna go to the code office.
Okay, all right.
But we can also change the permit right
Right
now.
now.
Yeah.
Can't we just?
Yeah, she knows what it is, but I don't think you know what you want to do.
Well,
No, because we do, once we get in, we'll have a better idea of what the busy hours are and what the customers are looking for.
well, part of that is now you'll have to come back if you change it. You might be better off just taking the widest breadth of time and say, I want to be open every day from 10 to 9 or whatever. And you don't have to do that, but you'll have
Okay.
the latitude to do that.
Then I would say every day, 10 to 7.
Okay.
Okay.
And as far as the parking exemption to match Blue Eyed Baker's parking exemption? Rich?
There would be no change to that in regards to the fact that they're going to be using the same amount of spaces based on the attended use being takeout. The aspect of additional parking wouldn't be required.
Mhm. So they wouldn't need to get any sort of approval for that, no, it just follows
Mhm.
a new owner.
Yep.
And what hours would I be able to come in for a permit, signed permit?
Our offices are open 8:30 to 4:30 every day, Monday
Every
through
day.
Friday.
Okay.
Do you have anything else? All right,
Okay.
You said limited, it said limited EN.
Very limited, like 3 stand-up tables, bar top tables,
with no chairs,
no chairs.
and people stay 8 to 9 minutes.
Yeah, they usually, that is about the maximum. Because we will have hot foods ready. And if it's a pierogi, it only takes a couple minutes to fry. So it shouldn't be more than 10 minutes.
So they're not standing there eating the pierogies in 8 minutes.
They
they're
can, yes. if
waiting
they
for them.
choose.
Oh,
I
okay.
can
Um,
tell you I did it Dingus Day.
Did you?
Yeah, it's.
They're pretty good.
You just gotta be careful, they're awful hot.
Yeah.
You know, that slows you down a little bit.
All right, anything else for the applicant? All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Anyone from the public have any comment on this public hearing? No. All right, can I get a motion to close the public hearing at 7:07 PM?
So move.
Moved by
Second.
Steve, second,
Second.
Kristen, further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved, public hearing is closed. Can I get a motion to open a public hearing at 7:08 PM for the Village's cable franchise agreement?
So moved.
Moved by Grace, second,
Second.
second by Jeff. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved, the public hearing is now open. Maureen, do you want to tell us just a little bit about what we're having a public hearing for?
So we're just renewing our cable franchise agreement and we're looking at the agreement that's proposed to see if the board wants to approve that or not. It extends it for 10 years. Pretty much the way it was described is the same percentage, but some of the terminology was changed in the contract. I guess below I will talk about the fact that I'm not thrilled with it and think that maybe we should move on with more negotiations, but
Okay,
it's proposed in front of us. We have to
thank you,
have the hearing.
thank you. Does anyone from the public want to comment on the local cable franchise agreement? All right. Can I get a motion to close the public hearing at 7:09 PM?
So move.
Moved by Steve, second,
Second.
second by Molly, further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved, the public hearing is now closed. First and only speakers in first speakers in communication presentation of our fiscal year in 2023 is Mary Young from Lumsden McCormick. Hello, Mary, welcome.
Hi, nice to see everyone. I'll be presenting from this packet. So yes, this is for your fiscal year end, May 31st, 2023. Audit scope and results, what we were providing to you, an unmodified independent auditor's opinion on the financial statements. That's the highest level you can achieve. It's also considered a clean opinion. So again, highest designation that you can receive. Just a reminder, the financial statements require both to be presented on a fund basis for your general fund, your capital projects fund, and on a government-wide basis. Also, your water fund is considered a proprietary fund. It's shown more like a business for any of you who've looked at corporate financial statements. It's more along those lines. We also have the communication with those charged with governance, the management letter, and we also prepared the annual update document and the footnotes, which is required to be filed with the Office of the State Controller. Taking a look at your fund balance for the year, general fund, you can see a little bit of a decrease in your fund balance. You're at about $6.9 million versus 7.4 last year. And I'll get into the numbers and the reason for that in a few minutes. You have what makes up that number, which is your non-spendable fund balance, which is a receivable and a payable between the general fund, excuse me, the general fund and the water fund, your restricted fund balances, which are funds that have been set aside for equipment, for employee benefits, things along those lines, your assigned fund balance, which are assisting you with your budget for this current year we're in, and then the remainder is your unassigned fund balance. And then your capital projects fund, no change there this year. And then your water fund, which had a small increase. Taking a look at your general fund revenue, that went up about 15% this year. Your taxes went up about 2.5%, which was in line with what you had budgeted. Sales and franchise tax were fairly consistent, especially sales tax, very consistent to what you had received the year before. Departmental income, and intergovernmental charges, the big increase was more public safety funds that you received from each of our schools. State and federal sources, you use some of the American Rescue Plan ARPA funds this year. You use that for your to purchase a street sweeper and also for your tennis and basketball courts and for a bathroom remodel. So you recorded that revenue as being used. And then you also received more interest, which all municipalities have received more interest just because of higher interest rates. So again, that gets you to a 15% increase in your revenue in the general fund. General fund expenditures, they increased about 32%. I know it sounds like a big number, but you purchased some property in that year. So you purchased the property for $1.4 million. So you don't normally do that. It's obviously an unusual occurrence. Without that purchase, your expenditures would have increased as well, but not by as much. Salaries increased about 7%, mostly due to new hires and also raises as stipulated by your contracts. Employee benefits was fairly consistent year to year. Contractual expenditures was the street sweeper, not the street sweeper, but the tennis courts and the basketball court and the bathroom remodel. Your debt service was consistent with the prior year. That's what you have to pay on your bonds, your principal and interest. And then the capital outlay is the increase there. That is the 1.4 million. And then also the amount that you spent on the street sweeper. The next page is the government-wide summary. This includes all the funds, water fund, capital projects, and the general fund. It also includes the amount that you have for your liabilities and also for your fixed assets. So you can see your capital assets, which is your land, equipment, net of depreciation at 22 million. And the land that you had purchased in the street sweeper sitting in that number. Then you also have your long-term liabilities at about 15 million. You didn't have any new debt that you issued this year in the year we audited, but so that balance did go down because you did pay principal on that. And then you can see down at the bottom, the revenue versus the expenses on a government-wide basis. Again, this includes the water fund. So a little bit higher than what you saw in the general fund for those revenues and those expenses, getting us down to the change in that position. And then the communication with those charged with governance, this just outlines our responsibility as auditors, your responsibility as the entity we're auditing. It talks about any estimates there are in the financial statements, the more important footnotes, and if there were any disagreements or any issues that we had, we would disclose them here, but we didn't have any of those. And then the management letter is just some recommendations we have from the audit, very similar to what we had last year. We do prepare the financial statements. We do like to disclose, we do disclose that to the board. And then segregation of duties, just because you do have a small office, just a reminder to continue to look at the cash disbursements reports that you get before the board meetings, checking to see if there's any unusual vendors or any purchases that you think might be unusual. And then also with the retirement of the administrator, which I know you are looking for someone until that happens to also take a look at the payroll reports and the trustees could just do a review of that every payroll or monthly. That would be helpful just for those segregation of duties. Informational points are just 3 new government accounting standards that are coming up. The first one has to do with cloud-based technology agreements, and that will be implemented for the audit as of May 31st, 2024. And then accounting changes and corrections and compensated absences, that will be implemented in 2025. So that was really quick, but does anyone have any questions?
So you call this a clean report. What are your thoughts as far as how we compare to other municipalities that you've seen?
I think that your staff works really well together, and I think that they give us all the information we need, and they give us very clean trial balances, which is very helpful. And then so there aren't too many adjustments that we have to make as a result of the audit. We did talk about the segregation of duties issues. As far as financially, I think you have strong fund balance, and I think that you're fiscally responsible when it comes to purchasing and to budgeting.
You're pretty smug over there. He's our clerk treasurer. You have anything you want to add, Maureen?
I just think it's going well. I think I'm, happy with the audit results. I'm glad it's going well, and I'm glad that we're not taking on more debt and we're strategically spending it along with the plans that, like the capital committee and everybody's doing. So I think we're on a good track.
I would agree.
Thanks. What else does the board have for Mary?
Very thorough. Yeah.
All right.
Thanks so
you.
much.
Happy holidays to everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, you too.
Happy Thanksgiving. Nice job, Maureen. All right, moving on to official considerations. Can I get a motion to approve a special use permit for 33 Elm Street, George and Linda Lund for their open retail restaurant Babka's Pierogi?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Ernie, second by Steve. Is there any adjustment to the hours per our discussion that you would like to add to your resolution, Ernie?
Yes, that they be open 7 days a week from 10 to 7.
Steve, are you seconding that amendment?
I will second that amendment.
Very good. Any other discussion from the board?
I can't wait.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Congratulations. I get a motion to schedule a public hearing on December 18th for Commerce Way, SBL number 175.10-1-3.112. Applicant Nicholas Pittis for a site plan application to construct a self-storage facility.
So moved.
Moved by Kristen, second.
Second.
Second by Jeff. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. It's scheduled for December 18th. Can I get a motion to schedule a public hearing on December 18th for 123 Gray Street, Benderson Development for a Chase Bank drive-through special use permit?
So moved.
Moved by Steve, second.
Second.
Second by Ernie. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Scheduled for the 18th. And can I get a motion to schedule a public hearing on December 18th for 123 Gray Street, Benderson Development, Chase Bank for their site plan?
So moved.
Moved by Molly, second.
Second.
Second by Grace. Further discussion? Maureen, should that say Chase Bank drive-through site plan? Do we need to? Molly, you just want to add that to your motion?
Sure.
Okay.
For
I don't
the
have it
Chase
on my-
Bank drive-through site plan.
Thank you. Grace? You seconding the
second,
change?
yep.
Okay. Any other discussion? All those in favor? What? What's that?
It's the ones that drive through
Right.
the building itself.
That's what I'm asking. It's not even, okay. So we don't need to change it. Okay,
So Chase Bank.
just Chase Bank. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved, scheduled for the 18th. I get a motion to approve a temporary use permit for Mendel Guerreri, the menorah lighting for December 10th, 2023 at 7 p.m.
So moved.
Moved by Kristen, second.
Second.
Second by Jeff. Further discussion.
Gentleman over here.
Applicant, hi Harvey. You want to come on up
Come on
and
up
introduce
to
yourself?
To the microphone.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
you have to do
How it
it.
works.
Yep,
Just tell us a little bit about your
it's
event.
recorded and we need you at the microphone. Name,
I'm Harvey Shemansky, 123 Park Place, East Aurora. This is Rabbi Mendel Guerreri. The only, we appreciate the approval. I think the permit fee was 175.
Mhm.
Am I right? I believe the permit fee is 175. Okay, last year, because it's nonprofit, it's just literally just a little gathering. I believe the ultimate fee, I think the fee was reduced to 100 or 125.
Last year, we didn't charge $300 mailer fee for the outdoor music sound because we couldn't get the notices out in time because the application came in so late.
Okay, so we did pay the 175.
Last year, we paid 75 because we
75.
couldn't do the mailers last year, but this year we have to do the mailers. That's why it's 175.
Okay, all right, I think I understand. All right, that's it. So we're on. Very good.
We haven't voted on it yet.
we have to make a motion to vote.
All
Go ahead.
right, anything else you want to add? No, anybody have any questions for the rabbi or for Harvey?
Thank you so much.
Okay.
It's really nice last year and want to invite everyone, if you could come, we would have an honor if the mayor and everyone would join. It'd be really nice.
Nice.
All right, thank you.
Cool.
Happy holidays.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rabbi. All right, any other discussion from the board? Wait.
Well, he has on there that he would like extra police services. Can you tell me what police services you're looking for outside of the regular police services? Just the regular police services? Okay, so nothing additional. Okay,
Okay.
so no additional police services.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Congratulations. Can I get a motion to approve a temporary use permit for 42 North Brewing's Barrel Jam on January 27th, 2024 from 2 to 6 p.m.
So moved.
Moved by Steve, second by Grace. Further discussion? I think this is similar to what they've done in the past, including their snowboard rail that they put in there.
Yep.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Can I get a motion to refer to the planning commission on December 5th, 49 Knox, applicant Joshua Best, Febu Properties, special use permit and site plan application to construct a multi-family dwelling group.
So moved.
Moved by Molly, second.
Second.
Second by, is that Steve?
It was.
Second by Steve. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I just got to.
Approved? Refer to the planning commission for December 5th. Can I get a motion to refer to the planning commission on December 5th, 11 Ernst Place, McDonald's drive-through, amended special use permit to accommodate 2 ordering lanes?
So moved.
Moved by Kristen, second.
Second.
Second by Jeff. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved? Refer to the PC for December 5th. And can I get a motion to refer to the PC, the planning commission on December 5th for 11 Ernst Place, McDonald's drive-through, the amended site plan application to reconfigure the drive-through facilities?
So moved.
Moved by Grace, second.
Second.
Second by Molly. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved, referred for December 5th to PC. Can I get a motion to approve the budget modifications as listed?
So moved.
Moved by Jeff, Steve. Second by
Second.
Grace. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Moving on to new business, 146 The Meadow. Rich? If you would, please.
Yes, the building department would request the board issue for justice court action in regards to 146 The Meadows and their unfortunate non-compliant fence height that they were denied their variance for.
All right. And Maureen and Bob, how would that look? Do we take a vote on approving them from pursuing the court action? Do we just say, yep, sounds good?
I would,
I don't know that a vote is necessary, but it might be in the best interest to have a vote on it.
yeah, to do one to say that you are having Chris Trapp, was it prosecute that?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Does anybody have any other questions for Rich? Does anyone want to make such a motion?
I'll make a motion.
If Raby will make the motion to do what?
To
Ask-
approve Chris Trapp,
Approve Chris Trapp to
prosecute
prosecute
146
the metal.
for
Okay.
fence
For
non-compliance.
For sign non-compliance?
Fence.
Fence non-compliance?
That's not.
Fence
That's
non-compliance.
not correct.
All right, anybody want to second that motion?
I'll second.
Molly will second that motion. Further discussion? This is going on for how long, Rich? Do you know?
They were originally denied in 2022 and they reapplied, but then didn't go forth with that reapplying after 1 year. So it has been non-compliant for a good amount of time.
I was on the zoning board. That's how long ago it was
All right.
when they first came.
All right, moved by Jeff, second by Molly. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved? Going back to old business, discussing the cable franchise agreement. Maureen, what's your recommendation on this, please?
I just didn't really feel comfortable with what the attorney gave us back from that. And when I asked them to go through and explain the changes, they kept giving me these high level overviews and wouldn't really explain the changes. So I sent it to Chris Trapp to review what he thought of it because I just really wasn't comfortable with it. And he agreed and he made quite a number of markups. And he's going, if you approve, he will just go and continue negotiating it for us under our village attorney preview and kind of tighten up a few things that are open that I guess are concerning. He does have a red line document, but I guess until he negotiated it, I would not really have that for you.
Okay. Everybody okay with letting Chris continue to pursue this and not taking any other action at this time?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Oh, 10-year contract. I want to make sure it's airtight before we sign anything. So, right?
Okay,
Yeah.
locked in.
Yeah.
I think you just table it
All right.
pending Chris Trapp's completion of negotiation. Just table it.
Yeah, I wouldn't do any
Yeah,
vote.
just pending his
Okay.
negotiation.
All right, moving on to our other order of old business. Benderson's application and the determination of findings. Regarding the AutoZone application by Benderson. I think we should discuss the findings. Kristen, if you
Sure.
wanna.
Yeah, I can kick things off. So the first finding that we had was that the zoning code was revised after the creation of the plaza, the Gray Street Plaza located in the general commercial zone, which is intended to designate areas for the development of larger scale commercial activities, and which permits retail stores as of right. It is owned by Benderson and abuts the limited commercial residential, the LCR zone.
That seems pretty clear.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'll add that.
Everybody agree with that finding?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll add that the village modified the zoning ordinances pursuant to local law number 3 for 2019. In pertinent part, created a limited commercial residential district as outlined in section 285.20.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Molly, you were on the ZBA. That makes sense, right?
Okay, number 3, finding 3, one of the reasons for the change in the zoning code was the intrusion of commercial establishments on residential areas, which resulted in the creation of a limited commercial residential LCR zone to act as a buffer in 2019. Everybody agree?
Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely. The purpose of the LCR was allow only limited commercial establishments, which was considered small businesses with limited scope, traffic, and size, such as professional offices, small jewelry stores, real estate offices, and similar small businesses. And I'd add the purpose is further stated as in part to promote a pattern of land use suitable for the development of professional and business offices and limited service, retail, and commercial activities.
Agreed.
I agree with that.
Fifth finding, the stated purpose of the LCR district is to accommodate the broadest range of housing close and immediate and close proximity to supporting commercial shops and services in accordance with the village's adopted comprehensive plan.
Absolutely.
The purpose of the zone was to insulate residential areas and residences from the high traffic volume and building sizes that exist in commercial areas. The limited commercial residential LCR district. The purpose of the LCR district is to accommodate the broadest range of housing choice in immediate and close proximity to supporting commercial shops and services in accordance with the village's adopted comprehensive plan. Proposed development or redevelopment in this district shall employ techniques to minimize negative impacts on established lower density residential areas and neighboring properties. And that's via East Aurora Village Code, section 285-20.2D.
That's the big thing, right? I mean, there's a lot of houses and residences in that area.
Right.
And we're adding more.
Yeah. You don't want to add high traffic volume and large buildings that might negatively affect them.
Right.
Within the LCR, retail stores are permitted, provided that the building footprint of such does not exceed 2,500 square feet. And the proposed auto zone was approximately 3 times that size.
Right. That seems excessively large compared to what is actually listed in the code.
That's adorable.
At the end, it'll prove these in.
Yeah, well, yeah, we're gonna read through them now.
It was anticipated that the buildings would be, the LCR would be mixed use with retail on the first floor and residential uses on the second floor.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
most of the buildings in the LCR zone are less than 2,500 square feet in size, and most of them are residential.
The project stands out so much compared to what's actually there.
Large retail facilities were not thought to be in concert with the surrounding residential areas.
I agree with that.
Agreed.
At the time of the Benderson application, there were vacant stores in the plaza. That's true.
Benderson originally proposed 2 buildings on the 3 properties which were purchased, including the AutoZone structure of just short of 7,400 square feet and a second 2,500 square foot building.
Okay.
Benderson has proposed to build another outbuilding in the plaza right after presenting the AutoZone proposal to the village.
Yeah,
Is that
we
true?
talked about that tonight.
Benderson requires the combination of 3 separate lots to build the structure of the size that was proposed for the AutoZone.
That's true, right?
Yep.
It's not
Yeah.
one big lot, it's 3 separate lots and they're trying to piece it together.
And those 3 properties which Benderson has combined are all located in the LCR zone.
That's true.
And the proposed auto zone facility cannot fit on one of the lots purchased by Benderson.
True.
Proposed AutoZone is 3 times the size of the limit set forth for acquisition of a special use permit in the LCR.
Everybody agree with that?
Yep.
Yep.
No buildings in excess of 2,500 square feet have been permitted to be built in the LCR zone since it was created. Is that right, Rich and Maureen? Correct.
Building of 7,381 square feet is out of character in the LCR zone. Other buildings in the zone are 1/3 of the size of the proposed building.
Definitely.
Yep.
There are residential properties in close proximity to the auto zone project to the north, east, and south. There are two properties, 19 and 25 Gray Street, directly across from 20 and 26 Gray Street that are zoned single-family residence or SFR and are deed restricted to only be used for SFR and currently are used in this manner. Additionally, around the corner on Knox Road, properties are all zoned single-family residential or SFR.
That's right. It's all single family homes in that
area.
stretch.
Yeah. The proposed AutoZone store is approximately 3 times the size of any active business or home in the LCR zone. The other buildings within the LCR zone are as follows. A 37 Hamburg is 1,378 square feet and has an office and 2 apartments. 43 Hamburg is 1,632 square feet, single family residence. 45 Hamburg is comprised of 2 buildings of 2,108 square feet for a single family residence and 624 square feet, single family residence. 61 Hamburg is comprised of 2 buildings of 440 square feet for single family residential and 1,579 square feet for retail eyeglass office. 72 Hamburg is 1,198 square feet real estate office. 80 Hamburg is a 2,706 square feet 2-family residence. 82 Hamburg is 2,537 square feet 2-family residence. 89 Hamburg is a 1,673 square foot financial planning office on the first floor and 2 apartments totaling 1,496 square feet on the second floor. 90 Hamburg is 722 square feet on the first floor for a massage therapist office and a 494 square foot apartment on the second floor. 96 Hamburg is 2,152 square feet with a mixed use jewelry store and a single family residence. 97 Hamburg is 2,728 square feet audiology office. 100 Hamburg is 1,681 square foot mixed use retail glass store and a single family residential. 104 Hamburg is 1,820 square feet 2-family residence. 105 Hamburg is a 1,614 square foot single family residence. 111 Hamburg is vacant land. 112 Hamburg is 2,050 square feet 2-family residential. 31 Knox is 1,132 square feet mixed use insurance office and a single family residence. 15 Gray Street is 1,580 square feet 2-family residence. 19 Gray is 840 square feet single family residence. 25 Gray Street is 615 square foot single family residence. 46 Gray is a 2,212 square feet Montessori preschool. 55 Douglas is a 4,000 square foot bank building constructed as a bank in 1971. 92 Gray is 1,758 square foot dentist office. 100 Gray is a 3,200 square foot retail paint store. 110 Gray is a 1,560 square foot optometrist office, and 22 Boys, is it Boys or Boise? How do you guys say it? Boys Alley is 1,132 square feet, single family residential.
Agree with all of that.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
The LCR zone also abuts a residential zone to the south.
Fedderson's Part 1. SEAF states that the proposed action will result in a substantial increase in traffic above present levels.
Benderson's part,
That's true. You
Yeah.
don't want the extra traffic.
Benderson's Part 1 SEAF states that the proposed action will include the construction or other activities that would result in the impoundment of water or other liquids by way of a stormwater detention pond with 1,127 square feet in surface area.
That's true. Right?
Yep.
Yep.
Part 2 of the seeker process form indicated that there would be a moderate to large impact from the development in the following areas. Creation of a material conflict with the adopted land use plan or zoning regulations, a change in the use or intensity of use of the land, an impairing of the character or quality of the existing community, and an adverse change in the existing level of traffic or affect existing infrastructure.
Yeah, definitely agree with that.
I agree with that.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Part 3 of the secret process form concluded that based on the information analysis and any supporting documentation that the proposed action may result in one or more potentially large or significant adverse impacts.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Intensity of the use of the land would increase since the bank on the premises had been vacant for several years.
That's true.
It is true. The AutoZone business would have a greater draw of customers and deliveries.
Definitely.
There will be an increase in parking and lighting due to the AutoZone store.
That's true.
The project includes a new point of ingress and egress onto Hamburg Street, nearly at the intersection of Oakwood Ave. At the nearby intersection, is already heavily trafficked, and there will be a further increase in traffic in the area due to the store.
Yeah, that intersection's already a mess.
It's a terrible spot
That'd be
already. Yeah.
The proposed building is inconsistent with the village's comprehensive plan as follows. A, it does not recognize the unique character of the village per section 3.6 of the regional comprehensive plan. B, preservation of the traditional neighborhood character of the village must ensure that the development is compatible with the existing character of the village in terms of style and scale. C, future growth is to be at a size and scale that is compatible with the character of the village community. D, the village has a great image in the region and represents to many the ideals of village life as stated in section 5.2.6. E, transportation traffic through the village is also a major issue in the community as stated in section 5.2.6. F, recent discussions and actions would indicate that the village prefers smaller, architecturally acceptable business uses in most of the community. Size, scale, and design issues are particularly important in the uptown area, but also should be all uses should be designed in context with the character of the village. The zoning should be adjusted to reflect these desires. G, with respect to the western section of the village, quote, large, big box developments are not appropriate and any new developments must be consistent in size and scale with surrounding uses, unquote.
I agree. The proposed building definitely does not recognize the unique character of the village.
Right.
Not at all.
It's so important to our community. I think the buildings referred to by Benderson as being larger commercial buildings in close proximity to the proposed AutoZone are in different zoning districts. Including the Dollar General retail store, 11,348 square foot in the Village Center Zone. Tim Hortons is in the Village Center Zone, and McDonald's restaurant at 4,006 square feet is in the Village Center Zone. Relied upon by Benderson are all located in a different district zone. The vacant Key Bank building at 4,000 square feet is within the LCR zone, but it was built 48 years before the creation of the LCR. That building would be demolished as part of this development. The listed buildings are either on the north side of the AutoZone development or were developed prior to the revision of the updated zoning provisions.
Yeah, absolutely. That's part of the purpose, right, of the LCR was to provide that transitional zone.
Agreed.
And finally, the village has not previously granted similar approvals for proposed buildings where the applicant needed to combine multiple lots to make a site for a single building that would be greatly out of scale with the surrounding area. Further, the village board does not believe it prudent to grant this application, indicating to future applicants that it is acceptable to the village for property owners to combine multiple lots in order to build structures that are out of scale with the surrounding area.
I agree with that.
I agree.
I agree.
All right, does anyone want to make a resolution considering an application of a request for a special use permit that was referred to the planning commission by the village board on October 4th, 2021?
Yeah, I'll make the resolution. I'll make a resolution to deny the special use permit application as submitted for Benderson Development Company LLC, proposing to locate a new AutoZone store at 20, 26, and 30 Gray Street for the following detailed reasons. First, the zoning code was revised after the creation of the plaza located in the general commercial zone, which, quote, is intended to designate areas for the development of larger scale commercial activities, end quote, from section 285-21.2A, and which permits retail stores as of right. It's found in section 285-21.3. It is owned by Benderson and abuts the limited commercial residential LCR zone. Second, the village modified the zoning ordinances pursuant to local law number 3 for 2019, which in pertinent part created a limited commercial residential LCR district as outlined in section 285.20. Third, one of the reasons for the change in the zoning code was the intrusion of commercial establishments on residential areas, which resulted in the creation of a limited commercial residential LCR zone to act as a buffer in 2019. The purpose of the LCR was to allow only limited commercial establishments, which were considered small businesses with limited scope, traffic, and size, such as professional offices, small jewelry stores, real estate offices, and other similar small businesses. The purpose is further stated as, quote, promote a pattern of land use suitable for the development of professional and business offices and limited service, retail, and commercial activities, end quote. Fifth, the stated purpose of the LCR district is, quote, to accommodate the broadest range of housing close in immediate and close proximity to supporting commercial shops and services in accordance with the village's adopted comprehensive plan, end quote. Sixth, the purpose of the zone was to insulate residential areas and residences from the high traffic volume and building sizes that exist in commercial areas. Quote, limited commercial residential LCR district. The purpose of the LCR district is to accommodate the broadest range of housing choice in immediate and close proximity to supporting commercial shops and services in accordance with the village's adopted comprehensive plan. Proposed development or redevelopment in this district shall employ techniques to minimize negative impacts on established lower density residential areas and neighboring properties. End quote. That is from East Aurora Village Code, section 285-20.2D. Seventh, within the LCR, retail stores are permitted, provided, quote, provided that the building footprint of such use does not exceed 2,500 square feet, end quote. And the proposed auto zone is approximately 3 times that size. Eighth, it was anticipated that the buildings would be mixed use with retail on the first floor and residential uses on the second floor. Ninth, most of the buildings in the LCR zone are less than 2,500 square feet in size, and most are residential. 10th, large retail facilities were not thought to be in concert with the surrounding residential areas. 11th, at the time of the Benderson application, there were vacant stores in the plaza. 12th, Benderson originally proposed 2 buildings on the 3 properties which were purchased, including the AutoZone structure of just short of 7,400 square feet and a second 2,500 square foot building. 13th, Benderson has proposed to build another outbuilding in the plaza right after presenting the AutoZone proposal to the village. 14th, Benderson requires the combination of 3 separate lots in order to build a structure of the size proposed. 15th, the 3 properties which Benderson has combined are all located in the LCR zone. 16th, the proposed AutoZone facility cannot fit on one of the lots purchased by Benderson. 17th, the proposed AutoZone is 3 times the size of the limit set forth for acquisition of a special use permit in the LCR. 18th, no buildings in excess of 2,500 square feet have been permitted to be built in the LCR zone since it was created. 19th, a building of 7,381 square feet is out of character in the LCR zone. Other buildings in the zone are 1/3 of the size of the proposed building. 20th, there are residential properties in close proximity to the AutoZone project to the north, east, and south. There are 2 properties, 19 and 25 Gray Street, directly across from 20 and 26 Gray Street that are zoned single-family residential, SFR, and are deed restricted to only be used as SFR and currently are used in this manner. Around the corner on Knox Road, properties are all zoned single-family residential, SFR. 21st, The proposed AutoZone store is approximately 3 times the size of any other active businesses or home in the LCR zone. The other buildings within the LCR zone are as follows. A 37 Hamburg is 1,378 square feet and has an office and 2 apartments. B 43 Hamburg is 1,632 square feet, single-family residential. C 45 Hamburg is comprised of 2 buildings of 2,108 square feet for single-family residential and 624 square feet, single-family residential. D 61 Hamburg is comprised of 2 buildings of 440 square feet for single-family residential and 1,579 square feet for retail eyeglass office. E 72 Hamburg is 1,198 square feet, real estate office. F 80 Hamburg is 2,706 square feet, 2-family residential. G 82 Hamburg is 2,537 square feet, 2-family residential. H 89 Hamburg has a 1,673 square foot financial planning office on the 1st floor and 2 apartments totaling 1,496 square feet on the 2nd floor. I 90 Hamburg is 722 square feet on the 1st floor for a massage therapist office and a 494 square foot apartment on the 2nd floor. J 96 Hamburg is 2,152 square feet with a mixed-use retail jewelry store and single-family residential. 97 Hamburg is 2,728 square feet, audiology office. L 100 Hamburg is 1,681 square feet, mixed-use retail glass store and single-family residential. M 104 Hamburg is 1,820 square feet, 2-family residential. N 105 Hamburg is 1,614 square feet, single-family residential. O 111 Hamburg is vacant land. P 112 Hamburg is 2,050 square feet, 2-family residential. Q 31 Knox is 1,132 square feet, mixed-use insurance office and single-family residential. R 15 Gray Street is 1,580 square feet, 2-family residential. S 19 Gray is 840 square feet, single-family residential. T 25 Gray is 615 square feet, single-family residential. U 46 Gray is 2,212 square feet, Montessori preschool. V 55 Douglas is 4,000 square feet, vacant bank building constructed as a bank in 1971. W 92 Gray is 1,758 square feet, dentist office. X 100 Gray is 3,200 square feet, retail paint store. Y 110 Gray is 1,560 square feet, optometrist office. Z 22 Boys Alley is 1,132 square feet, single-family residential. Number 22, the LCR zone abuts a residential zone to the south. 23, Benderson's Part 1 Short Environmental Assessment Form, the SEAF, states that the, quote, proposed action will result in a substantial increase in traffic above present levels. 24, Benderson's Part 1 SEAF states that the proposed action will include the construction or other activities that would result in the impoundment of water or other liquids by way of a stormwater detention pond with 1,127 square feet in surface area. Number 25, Part 2 of the seeker process form indicated that there would be a moderate to large impact from the development in the following areas: creation of a material conflict with the adopted land use plan or zoning regulations, a change in the use or intensity of use of the land, an impairing of the character or quality of the existing community, and an adverse change in the existing level of traffic or affect existing infrastructure. Number 26, Part 3 of the seeker process form concluded that based on the information and analysis and any supporting documentation, that the proposed action may result in one or more potentially large or significant adverse impacts. 27, intensity of the use of the land would increase since the bank on the premises had been vacant for several years. 28, the AutoZone business would have a greater draw of customers and deliveries. 29, there will be an increase in parking and lighting due to the AutoZone store. 30, the project includes a new point of ingress and egress onto Hamburg Street nearly at the intersection of Oakwood Avenue, and the nearby intersection is already heavily traveled, and there will be a further increase in traffic in the area due to the store. 31, the proposed building is inconsistent with the village's comprehensive plan as follows. First, it does not recognize the unique character of the village per section 3.6 of the Regional Comprehensive Plan. Next, preservation of the traditional neighborhood character of the village must ensure that the development is compatible with the existing character of the village in terms of style and scale. C, further growth is to be, quote, at a size and scale that is compatible with the character of the village community. D, quote, the village has a great image in the region and represents to many the ideals of village life, end quote, as stated in section 5.2.6. E, quote, transportation/traffic through the village is also a major issue in the community, end quote, as stated in section 5.2.6. F, quote, recent discussions and actions would indicate that the village prefers smaller, architecturally acceptable business uses in most of the community. Size, scale, and design issues are particularly important in the uptown area, but all uses should be designed in context with the character of the village. The zoning should not be adjusted to reflect these desires. G, with respect to the western section of the village, quote, large big box developments are not appropriate, and any new developments must be consistent in size and scale with surrounding uses. 32. The buildings referred to by Benderson as being larger commercial buildings in close proximity to the proposed AutoZone are in different zoning districts. The Dollar General retail store, 11,348 square feet, Village Center Zone. Tim Hortons, Village Center Zone. And McDonald's restaurant, 4,006 square feet, Village Center Zone, relied upon by Benderson, are all located in a different district or zone. The vacant KeyBank building, 4,000 square feet, is within the LCR zone, but was built 48 years before the creation of the LCR. That building would be demolished as part of this development. The listed buildings are either on the north side of the AutoZone development or were developed prior to the revision of the updated zoning provisions. And last, 33. The village has not previously granted similar approvals for proposed buildings where the applicant needed to combine multiple lots to make a site for a single building that would be greatly out of scale with the surrounding area. Further, the village board does not believe it prudent to grant this application, indicating to future applicants that it is acceptable to the village for property owners to combine multiple lots in order to build structures that are out of scale with the surrounding area.
Could you repeat that?
Buckle in, I'll do it.
Could I get a second on Kristen's motion to deny the special use application is submitted, second by Jeff. And further discussion? We're gonna vote in roll call.
I would suggest,
Trustee Grace?
I would suggest that you include the make sure you put in there, include the AutoZone Benderson findings attached here to that have been read.
Maureen didn't hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I would suggest, just so there isn't any question, that this denial, resolution denying this request for special use permit includes the AutoZone findings as an attachment made a part hereof. Just a simple thing. It just is that it's attached, the zone findings are attached and made a part hereof, that resolution.
The Benderson finding.
The Benderson.
It is, okay,
But
all right, seconded by,
attached, though, that's all.
as attached. All right.
Okay.
Seconded by Jeff, no further discussion, Grace,
Aye.
Molly,
Aye.
Kristen,
Aye.
Steve,
Aye.
Jeff,
Aye.
Ernie,
Aye.
and I'm an aye. So this application, this special use permit application is submitted, was denied. Any nays? No? All right. All right. So moving on to our second speakers and communications. Anybody here want to say anything about anything? All right. Department head report, Shane.
Nothing tonight?
Very good. Matt.
Nothing, Your Honor.
All right. Getting those leaves, holiday decorations going up this week.
I see him here.
Yeah, the building looks good.
Trees are up in the circle.
Season.
Thank the guys for us, please. Your team. Rich. Very good. Maureen.
All good.
Nice. All right, Steve.
Nothing other, the Parks Committee met and no real new news to report, but went well. We're making progress on different ideas that we have.
Awesome. Thanks, Steve. Molly.
Nothing.
All right, Jeff.
Nothing.
That was suspicious, Molly.
Kristen's got the.
Ernie.
I'll ditto what Steve said. Parks Committee meeting went well. That's it.
Excellent. All right, Grace.
Nothing.
All right, and Kristen.
The Capital Committee had our first meeting of the year the other night. Things are looking pretty good. Last year we did the capital plan out well beyond the 6 years that we're required to do. Maureen has talked to the department heads. They really don't have a whole lot else for us beyond what's already on there. So we're going to try to turn this around to get it back to Maureen in the next couple of weeks so that Maureen can start her budget process, because this is a necessary component of that. So I'll resend what we have in the capital plan out to the rest of the village board in case anybody has any new projects that you're thinking of. But please think of them within the next week.
Very good. Thank you, Kristen. I've been spending time at the highway barn with some volunteers, including a group of Girl Scouts and parents, getting the holiday decorations ready for the DPW crew to hang. So I appreciate all those folks who've been helping on their own time. And Maureen and I are working on our union contract negotiations. And other than that, I would say I hope everybody has a happy Thanksgiving and a safe holiday, especially those who have to travel. Can I get a motion to adjourn at 8:03 p.m.?
So moved.
Moved by Steve, second.
I'll second.
Second by Molly. Further discussion?
What, you're all done listening to me talk?
What's that?
You said you're all done listening to me talk?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you all for coming. This meeting is adjourned.